that I had said on a drive-through episode that Harry Styles was going out with a nobody, and someone was like, I almost just had to throw my laptop out the window because Ali said that he was going out with a nobody and he was going out with Taylor Russell.
Who's Taylor Russell?
She's like why is she famous?
What is she in? How do I know her?
I think she was in Spider-Man.
No idea. That's Zendaya.
No.
Spider-Man. She's on Google. Oh, and that's not a nobody. Why did you must not have seen Taylor Russell and thought she was a nobody though? You must have just thought.
I think that this girl's got it wrong because I'm sure that Harry Styles had a blonde girlfriend who wasn't just a normal London girl, and they've just broken up. Maybe Harry Styles was previously with Taylor Russell.
He does move on quickly. Yeah, like he's literally just racking them up.
Was in Bones and All.
Couldn't say I've seen that.
Waves. Escape Room.
No,
I don't know any of them.
Me neither.
Lost in Space.
If we saw her, would we know her?
You would know her because she's sexy.
Yeah, she's more of a fashion icon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She dresses really
well. Yeah.
He likes an older woman, doesn't he, normally?
Yeah, who was the one that he
was with Caroline Flack for a while?
No, the one after Caroline Flack.
Oh. The actress?
Yeah.
What is her name?
Hilarious.
Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde.
Yeah.
Sorry, and the whole thing was that she basically groomed him because she produced that Don't Worry Darling.
Yep.
And it was all a bit dodge at the time because of the power dynamic.
Yep.
Oh, I remember now.
Have you seen that film? I haven't even seen it.
I actually enjoyed it. I mean, I love Florence Pugh. I think she's good. You didn't like it?
I watched it.
Oh, you haven't watched it? There's a twist. And do you know what? I like a film with a twist.
Yeah.
I think twist me up.
Well, that's my problem with Challengers. I think Challengers wasn't twisty enough. The end
flopped for me.
too.
Throughout, I loved it. I thought it was pacey. I thought it was clever. I thought it was a bit weird.
She's a film director now. It was pacey, it had tempo, the script was really strong.
It did. Your boyfriend didn't get it though. He just kept going, oh, why is the music so loud? I was like, that's a stylistic choice, Rory.
No. We sat down, the three of us, to watch Challengers, and he was like, they started playing tennis, and he was like, I thought it was going to be loads of snogging. That's what the trailer was, loads of snogging. And then he went up to get some water, and he was like, tell me when they're snogging, yeah? Tell me when they're
He just basically wanted to watch porn, but in like a PG way.
As well, and it was an interesting film.
It's an interesting film.
The end is really a flop.
I don't think I'd ever watch it again.
No.
Do you know what? I kind of might watch it again, but like not expecting anything from the end. And then I think there's loads to see and to unpick.
Yeah, probably, yes.
But like the end, I just will expect nothing.
Yeah.
I was kind of waiting for something, and that something is probably more nuanced than we can be asked to think about.
I hate it when that happens, actually.
Yeah, like when what? Do you want me to take notes and write a dissertation throughout, and then I'll understand
I
what
think
the point
that about
was?
films in general. Like that film, Inception, I just think, listen, you're trying to mass market this here. 90% of people aren't going to get this.
What was the other one? Because Inception was a little bit more mainstream, because it's like blue pill, red pill, or whatever it is. That's the Matrix.
The one of him in space.
That's Interstellar.
Is it Interstellar?
Inception isn't in space.
Interstellar is the one where it's just him for the whole film. One man for the whole film.
Matt Damon, sure.
All
of them are the same. They're all with Brad Pitt or Matt Damon. Why is it always them?
Why is it always them?
In space. They just love space.
And I just think, listen, you go to space, you either come back or you don't. That's pretty much the story.
If someone said, here's a ticket,
I wouldn't go.
You wouldn't go? To live on Mars?
Oh, to live on Mars? No way.
To go to space for...
To do an orbit.
To go to space for 30 days. No, 100 days.
No, not for 100 days.
Wouldn't do it for 100 days.
Okay, do you want me to tell you something really interesting?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a little something that people won't know about me. I went in lockdown on a Tim Peake, like, deep
we do know that about you because you told us about that bloody light exhibition or whatever you went through. What did you go to? Walking with Man on the Moon?
Yeah, it was called...
That was Tim Peake, wasn't it? You were really into him for a bit.
That was Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was the narrator. Tim Peake's the astronaut.
No, I know. But when you went to that thing, I must undo my bell. I can't breathe. I hate clothes. I actually hate them. I'd rather be naked. I'm going to move to a nudist colony. Anyway, what was that thing you went to about space?
Yeah, it was about space.
It was
narrated by Tom Hanks.
But it was about Tim Peake.
No, it was about Neil Armstrong.
Oh, good. Okay, fine. Whatever.
Anyway, Tim Peake is like the first British astronaut in like a really long time, or like the first of something to do to go to the International Space Station. He's written this book called Limitless. Why did I stop talking to you about this?
Because you wanted to tell us something interesting.
When you go to space, your joints, you get like 5 inches taller because
you grow.
Yeah, and like all these
because there's no gravity pushing you down.
All these weird things happen to you in space that like when you come back, like sometimes people find it like difficult to like have a wee again and stuff because like your body like changes a lot, obviously, when you're under the influence of zero gravity.
Sorry, get the short kings to space. That's genius.
I said,
put it on your Hinge profile, in space, I'm 6'5".
I said, genius.
How do you wee in space?
You have to actually, I don't know how girls do it, but I know that men, they have to put their like willy inside like a proper tube. But like when you wee, obviously it doesn't go down. Like the wee just like floats inside the water. It's really, there are loads and loads of like documentaries about it. It's actually really, really fascinating.
You need to pick up that fascination again.
And like when they wash their hair, have you seen a woman wash her hair in space?
Never.
It is
what a
mental.
niche thing to type into Google.
So they put,
woman washing hair in space.
So they put this like bag on their head
yeah.
and they spray the water, but obviously the water then like is like everywhere. So you have to like somehow like get the water. Like it's like a game of like bounce.
Wow.
You have to like bounce the water back into your head.
To be fair, I'd probably just let it go. I'd probably just grease it up in space. I probably would not be asked.
Not for 6 months.
I might. It might. That natural oil thing might start happening where your hair's just super silky.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that was what I would do.
Anyway, welcome to Leave a Message.
Welcome to Leave a Message. We've got a bit of a theme of cheating, have we? For the first one, or have I just made that up?
It's a mixed bag.
We've got a little
cheating
mixed
and a mixed
bag. Is there a bit of cheating? Sprinkle a bit of cheating in.
There's some cheating.
Oh, thank God.
There's always some cheating.
Listen, there's always some cheating.
There's always some cheating. What was I saying? Oh, I was talking to Hols yesterday about this. We were talking about all the things that should be illegal that aren't. And we did say getting divorced before your kids hit 18 should be illegal.
Oh, my parents would be banged up.
They'd be banged up because look at you, you're dealing with that collateral still.
No. I actually don't agree. Sorry, I'd like to challenge your your lawmaking skills.
Go on.
I really believe that if you grow up in a household with unhappy parents,
it's
who
worse than
hate
divorce.
each other. They're both bad.
Yeah.
But like, it's hard to quantify. If my parents would hate each other if they stayed together.
I just think the laws around having children are a bit loose.
Yeah, I agree.
How do we tighten down on that? Anybody can just go out, whether you hate each other, love each other, and make a baby. And I just think, no. Because these adults, they're then paying for therapy. They're fucked. Then they're treating other people badly because that's what happens because we've all got baggage from our horrible parents.
Daddy issues.
And I just think, can we not get it in line? Can you not look at how this is why I was thinking about it, because I just watched Lost Boys and the Fairies. Have you seen it on BBC?
No.
Oh my God, I sobbed. It's a 3-parter about a gay couple adopting a child. The amount of hoops they have to jump through.
Yeah.
I could go out on a Friday night and get knocked up.
Yeah.
I don't have to fill out any forms.
Yeah.
I don't have to be interviewed. I'm just saying. Maybe there's something to be said about that.
Should we get a voice note?
What do you want to call them?
Annie.
Annie. Orphan Annie. Really good.
Hi Gallies, hope you're both doing well. This isn't actually one of my stories, but I wanted to send in a voice note anyway. So my uncle, he was actually married into the family. Thank God he's not blood related. Anyway, he worked away from home, flying back and forth for work. We didn't really think anything of it. Anyway, it turns out that he actually had an affair whilst out there with quite a younger woman. Like at the time, him and my auntie were married with 2 children under 10. And as someone looking into their marriage, it always looked perfect. However, he was probably cheating for about 2 years straight. And I don't think he would have ever told my auntie if she didn't find out the way she did. Anyway, she was just going through his laptop, like nothing like untrustworthy, just doing her own thing. As she opened it up, there was emails on the screen and it was conversations back and forth between him and her. And I think they were quite sexual. So she spoke to him. They ended up getting a divorce, but he actually kept everything. He kept the house that they were already living in. Everything was fine for him. Whereas for her, she had to kind of start a whole new life. Because he was very manipulative. I mean, he is very manipulative and a selfish man. And yeah, I mean, would you say in that situation to make your children happier? I mean, obviously, the children don't actually know what happened. They just think they got divorced. Obviously, they're still quite young. But what would you do in that situation? Love you. Bye.
Love you, babe.
Oh, dear, babe.
And I'm sorry for your auntie. I've got many things to say.
Well, welcome to the divorce club.
Well, number one, babe, she needs to get Sheila on the phone.
Well, about the rules, I was gonna say about that.
Al's mum is an expert, not only because she went through a divorce,
She's also a divorce lawyer, and she's worked on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of divorce cases.
and she would not be having you sat without the house, would she? She wouldn't be having it
No.
if he's the cheater. There's no way.
Well, the thing is, in a court of law, cheating isn't really a.
Not in my governing
No,
body.
it's a reason for a divorce. It's like a reason to.
but it's not like a reason to claim
keep a
more than
house.
yeah. Because she has stood by her vows, and in the house of God, where she was married, when she said, in sickness and in health, I will not cheat on you. Is that in the vows? It should be.
It is.
I think we need to write it into the vows.
Sickness and in health. Oh, I don't know.
In goodness and in...
I don't think that not cheating is in vows.
If you get married, we're writing it in.
Let's check that. Oh my God, I
was
think
having
it
this conversation
is.
yesterday with George Pearson. He was saying he doesn't really want to wear a wedding ring. And I said, you best believe when you leave
Ross
this house,
said he doesn't want to wear
you're putting a wedding ring on.
I don't really care because I just think like...
Girls notice things like
but
that.
you're going to... Listen, if a man's going to cheat, he's going to cheat whether he's wearing a wedding ring
But the
or
girls
not.
might not. We hope and pray.
Yeah, but it also...
As in
it's
they
not-
might see the ring and be a bit like, I
But
probably won't
that's
suck your
actually
dick.
more of an issue if the other girl, if the man is thinking about cheating,
Yeah,
and
and the
it's
only
only the thing that's stopping
barrier,
them is the
yeah.
ring.
Well, the only barrier to sunburn, sun cream, and you still wear it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything you can do to stop the burn.
Yeah.
Go on, Hannah.
In vows, they don't promise to not have sexual partners.
Yeah.
But it is implied by the word faithful.
Faithful. That is heavily implied, actually. I think I would say that's what that means. To be faithful.
To be, yeah, okay.
Come on.
Yeah. Not to be shagging around with someone on email. How embarrassing to be sending sexual emails.
It's disgusting.
At least like do a WhatsApp message or something.
Or like an encrypted app that no one's ever going to see. If you're going to cheat, sometimes I
well.
think people want to be found out.
I think that all the time.
I really do.
They know what they're doing is wrong and they don't know how to say it. And so they basically like wait until it all blows up in their face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously in that situation, I would struggle to like look him in the eye
No,
and move on.
I think her question was, what would you do if you had kids? And would you choose to tell your children that their father... This was me, by the way.
Well, she said, would you stay? But yeah, also an interesting question.
My mum-
Would you tell your kids?
Okay, do you want to know my real story?
Yeah.
So we didn't know
that?
my dad had cheated.
Yeah.
And I never knew until I was like, my dad left when I was like 7 or 8. And the only reason I know is because I was at Sabrina's house when I was like, I must have been 13 or 14. And her mum made a passing comment that was like, obviously my mum had told, like my mum was friends with them and Alison would have assumed
That you knew.
that I knew. And she made, I can't even remember what the comment
But
was
it's
now.
quite hard at the time to explain that to like an 8-year-old.
No, and I think my mum did the right thing by
Yeah, I
trying to
do
protect
too.
us. But like, imagine having
So
to...
what did she say? A bit of a catty comment about your dad?
It wasn't even catty. It was just like something about the fact that I really couldn't tell
Another
you what-
woman?
yeah, about the fact that he'd had an affair. And
Oh,
I
God.
honestly remember, you know when something like hits you, you just kind of like don't hear anything.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. But I think we were so young. I think if you have young kids, you have to, your job is primarily to protect them.
And I don't think that information is helpful.
Also, listen, I know we always bang on about like cheating scumbags and like men can be cheating scumbags, but I also...
And women, sadly.
Yeah. But I also think, and this is really, I don't know why I'm saying this, is very unlike me to say this. I think, sadly, if you have children with someone, you have to separate your hatred with them from them being a father or a mother to your children, because like they
Doesn't
can
necessarily, they could be a bad
mutually
partner and a
exclusive.
good...
Yeah. And an
Bad partner, good father.
Yeah, bad partner, good parent.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to be quite a big person to be able to swallow all of that.
Because that's the thing, because like I said, like about like divorce and like waiting until the kids are 18. Obviously, yeah, you're right. You could only do that if the environment in which you lived wasn't hostile, because a hostile environment is just as painful as your
100%.
parents living separately.
Also, so many of my friends' parents who got divorced after 18 were like, we all knew it. They were literally
waiting for the kids to leave.
It's
yeah.
obvious. You hate each other. So
Yeah.
just do it.
Painful.
Painful.
It's mad, isn't it? How one day, I might have said this before, but one day you can look at someone in the eye and be like, I love you. And I will spend the
can't.
rest of my life with you. And then what? You can't even make tea in the kitchen.
And you're going to fight me over the house and like,
You're going to take my house?
Yeah. It's mental. It is mental.
What is that? You just think someone needs to come in that space and like, you know, Super Nanny. What's her name? Jo. You want Jo to come in and sit them both down like kids and be like, once upon a
couples
time.
therapy. That's what my mum does, kind of.
Yeah.
Before they get a divorce, my mum would do that.
She's a legend in the game.
The problem is, like, it's so hard to, especially if you've got kids, it's so hard to trace the root of the problem. Like, what you hate each other, but why? Because he never does the bit. That's not why you hate each other, you know?
The little things.
The little thing.
Death by a thousand cuts.
It's worse than one big blow.
Every time. That'll get you. That's a pretty big blow, though, him cheating on you and you finding the emails. It's such an irrational fear, but I fear that so strongly.
Really?
I just think like loving someone, being with someone, being completely blindsided and seeing something like that, would be a fear of mine.
Babe, why do you think I've started the Trust No One campaign?
Yeah.
That is my whole
Imagine if you went onto Rory's laptop just to like look at flights for your holiday and you see sexy big Cheb 101 at hotmail.com pop up. And he's been sexting her. It's actually bringing tears to my eyes. The shock,
Really?
the horror. Would you not be horror shocked?
I would.
There might be death.
Yeah.
Furious.
I would burn him to the ground. I would burn everything that he loves to the ground. And that is me to my core. I just think the problem is
I'd help you, babe.
You can't prevent people from doing it. That's actually half the problem, is that all you can do is hope.
Yeah.
And also maintain some trusting no one, you know.
Trust is blind.
Right.
Well,
but all
blindish.
you can do is just hope. God fucking hope and pray. But you know, if it happens, it's done. You can't, like, there's no like fixing cheating. You either stay and forgive them or you leave.
Or you move on.
And burn them down to the ground.
Yeah,
and that's
in
really,
the process.
There's no grey.
We actually don't obviously recommend violence, but at the same time, I think burning things is therapeutic. And back in the day, in the Viking days, they would have really encouraged it. So I think maybe it's fine.
Or get a tennis racket. We were saying this.
Because of challenges. We were like, because Al normally takes it on the recycling, which is just not as good.
No, it's
you
not
either
as
need
good.
a guitar
tennis racket would have been
or
better.
a racket.
Yeah, much better.
We'll let it all out,
Yeah,
babe.
better.
Feel your anger. Before we continue with this week's episode of Leave a Message,
if you want to be part of our group chat, make sure you leave us a voice note using all the details in the episode description.
now this can be about anything. Obviously, sometimes we ask you for specific topics, but if you've got a story that you think girls need to hear this, then get voice noting. Voice note number 2.
Hi, absolutely love the pod. Listen to it every Sunday at work. It is the only thing that keeps me going, so thank you both for that. Basically, I'm 19 and my partner's 22. And we've been together for just over 2 years. And for the longest time, we've both gotten on really well with both of our families. However, in September, just gone, we decided to take his mother on holiday to Italy. And it's important to mention that her partner left just over 2 years ago. And ever since then, her son has been helping her out financially. So this holiday was fully paid for by my partner and myself. However, we started to notice immediately when sitting on the Ryanair flight that she was beginning to complain. This carried on throughout the entire holiday. The Airbnb wasn't nice enough, the bar wasn't nice enough, the food wasn't nice enough. Nothing seemed to be good enough. Obviously, all of the sly comments started to annoy my partner, but we carried on until the last day, which resulted in them two having a massive argument outside of McDonald's. We all agreed that we should just carry on with the day as we had rented a mini boat to go on the lake and it was the final day of our holiday and we just wanted to enjoy it. As the instructor is taking us over to our boat, she refuses to come. Then we get back to the UK. She doesn't speak to us until a month after, in which she wants to speak to her son alone, which is fairly reasonable. Where I then discover she has a big long list of everything that I did wrong on the holiday, and this was her excuse for the behaviour. The first one was that when me and her went to a toilet in a restaurant, I didn't wait for her to come out the toilet for us then to both go back to the table together. Second one is that when we go out to eat or whatever, that because her son sits next to me and not next to her. Anyway, so you get the vibe. However, many months later, things are starting to get back to normal. However, she has never apologised to me about any of this or even mentioned it to me at all. I'd also like to say that my partner was on my side in all of this, but the truth is I still don't trust that she likes me or wants me around. Am I being insecure and cautious, and should I just get over it? Or do you think that my trust issues are justified? Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, mums and sons. Do you want to shag him, Sheila? Bloody hell. Sorry, I didn't mean to use your mum's name there.
I've also written mums and sons.
Why, you suck him off then. You clean up after him still. It's boring.
A lot. What is it with the mums and their
obsession?
Even Becky, who did our nails, she was like, my mum is just obsessed with my brother. And I was like, G and I talk about this all the time.
Why?
Why don't you go out with your son then? If you're
is it because
obsessed?
you didn't pick the right man to be your partner, and so then you've like tried to make your son the man you would have wanted to be with, so now you like low-key fancy him in a weird way? I don't know what that dynamic is.
I think it's that mums can often see a lot of themselves in their daughters. Like, you know, when like your own daughter can like snap at you and you think, God, it's like looking in a mirror.
Yeah, the
like,
ugly parts.
Yeah, but maybe with sons they don't get it, so they're trying to like, you know, like cherry. I don't know. It's so weird.
They love them.
I've written here,
weird.
ungrateful cow. She is an ungrateful cow.
Cheeky bitch. Sorry, maybe she felt a bit proud. Maybe she was embarrassed that they'd paid for the whole thing.
But then don't say yes to coming on holiday.
Say thank you for the calamari and move on. What the fuck?
Well, she wants to sit next to her son.
This is the thing.
Dinner.
What? Hand on his lap? What's wrong with you, Barbara?
You've just spent a whole week together in Italy, babe.
It's disgusting. Do you want to sleep in the bed with us too?
Do you want to have a threesome? Do you know what I mean?
It's too much. It's actually too much. And I hate to imply incest because I know it's not that.
And
it's an
illegal.
Admiration thing. They put their sons on pedestals.
But why?
Because they've like created them and they're like, oh, love them. They're so good looking and tall.
No,
it's so boring.
also, I think the thing about sons, actually, and I can't say this as a mother of a son, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think with daughters, you feel like, oh, they'll always be in my life. But with sons, when they get older, you feel like, oh, they might feel like, oh, I'm losing them. And so I'm like, they're like desperately trying to claw on.
Also, I think you do understand the power a woman has in a man's life.
100%.
Like if your daughter-in-law doesn't like you, you best believe you won't be holding the grandkids and you won't be around for Christmas.
Do you know what I mean?
Soz.
But then I also think, well, why has she burnt the bridge with you? Listen, babe.
Bizarre behaviour, babe.
I'm going to say now, you will never, ever, ever win with this woman, ever. So you can either... Very interesting conversation with our manager. I won't name which one about this. About
pick from 3
in-law, and only 2 of them are getting married.
Ooh, 50-50.
One of them lives with their in-laws and loves them. So.
Oh God, you're so right. Horrible.
She said basically she has a difficult relationship with her in-laws, and she was like, I know that I will never win and that they will never change. So the only option is for you or for her to like change the way that she thinks, feels and responds to them, or you just will never have a relationship. And like,
and if your partner has a good relationship with their parents, then it's probably like, you know, not your duty, but it's part of your partnership to them to maybe not make their relationships with their parents more difficult.
Find elsewhere to vent about it, because like it's not going to be helpful for you to talk to him about how much of a cow his mum is.
Yeah, it's awkward that, isn't it?
And also like even if he's on your side, he probably does already know she's being a cow. So it's like you're putting him in an even more impossible position.
And also it's one of those, isn't it? It's like if your mum's a cow, you're a bit like, I can say that, but no one else can.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And he can stand up for you as much as he wants, but he's also at the mercy of that weird mum-son dynamic. And he's also being like mollycoddled by his mum. Yeah. And his mum wants to sit next to him, which is odd, I know.
I just would say, listen up, Karen. You've got some serious fucking problems. I've got a number for a therapist. Would you like me to pass it on to you?
Yeah.
You must go and see some. Why must you sit next to him at every dinner? It's bizarre.
Do you know what I had with my ex? He wasn't very good with his parents. He was really distant.
And then you had to do the work.
Well, I just brought him closer, so then I always won. It was amazing. You need someone that doesn't have a great relationship with their parents. Then you build them together and then you're golden bollocks.
Good.
Can I say really quickly about the toilet thing?
Yeah.
Something I struggle with often.
What?
Do you wait and hang around for the person in the toilet, or do you leave?
Okay, okay.
Because that's actually, I often stand there on the sink and I'm like, I've already blowed dry my hands, they're still there, what are they doing in there? Oh my God, shall I wait? Is it awkward that I'm waiting?
It depends the level of friend.
Yeah, because would you shout, get back to the table?
If it was you, I would say, yeah, I'd say, babe, I'm going to the table.
Babe, you're taking ages, I'm going back.
Your poo's taking far too long.
I can smell it.
But if it was like an acquaintance,
You would wait.
I would probably wait.
See, I think if it was an acquaintance,
You leave.
I might leave because I might think, leave you in peace. Leave you in peace.
Then it's, especially if it's an acquaintance where like, you know, sometimes you go places and the walk from the bathroom to the table just feels like 3 hours long.
So long.
You just think, oh my God, isn't the food so nice? And you,
Also, what if you're waiting outside the door and they're waiting inside?
bad.
Then you've got it all wrong. Oh, it's all horrible. You must agree as you approach the toilet.
If it's an acquaintance, you wouldn't agree though. That's
You wouldn't
half the
say,
problem.
after my piss, I'll wait outside
I know
for
what
you.
I'd say. When I go in to the bathroom, okay, you've got to say, see you back at the table.
See you back at the table.
Bland. If you happen to...
Sounds a bit like you're off to do a poo, but who cares? Don't wait for me. See you back at the table.
Yeah, I'll be a while.
I'll be a while. I wouldn't wait I wouldn't hang around. I'd go and one over if I were you.
I'll get a nose plug if I were you.
I hate going to the toilet with someone I don't know.
Especially when it's the ones, and this happens to me a lot when I have, especially when you go to a posh dinner and you have to hold in your fart, and then you go to the loo and it's not even
Sorry,
like...
what not posh dinner are you trumping at? No, thank you.
No, what, when you go to a posh dinner...
Yes, at any dinner, can you not fart at the table?
I would sit at the dinner table with you and Trump. Babe,
Horrific.
last weekend in drive-through...
No, that was in the car. I'm not in a restaurant.
What's the difference?
A lot. People mainly.
It's just me and you, babe.
Oh, poor me. Should we have number 3?
Hello, Gallies. My story for you is about the lovely guy that I will be calling Rat Boy. This is my ex-boyfriend of 3 years. We broke up a year ago. Prior to our breakup, we had festival tickets booked for Reading Festival, and we had to do the awkward thing of who gets tickets, blah, blah, blah. They were in his name. I had paid him the £300 for these tickets, and I wanted my money because I didn't want to go. And so he was humming and hawing. He was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going or not yet. I need to find someone. I was like, okay, well, can you advertise my ticket for sale because I want my money? And it got to the point where he ignored me enough that the time where you could sell it on Ticketmaster had gone. And then I find out from my friend that he's taking his friend, which was my friend's boyfriend at the time, to said festival. I didn't know this. And I was like, that's fine, but I want my money. Where's my money for my ticket? Because while you guys are gallivanting around at Reading doing God knows what, whatever Class A drugs that you feel like, I'm stuck in a supermarket getting shouted at by old ladies. So I was like, can I have my money? And I just get a message of, I'm broke right now. You'll get the money when I have it. Bit rude, seeing as it's my ticket. I want the money. 3 months after the festival and I still don't have my money. I was like, I tried the nice guy, tried the bad guy. We're going to bring in the dad. So my dad went to his place of work, which is like a street food vendor thing. He was working, there was about 20 customers outside, and he said in front of all these customers, when are you going to pay my daughter the £300 you owe her?
Oh my God.
Obviously, he was very embarrassed. Don't talk to him, like, why are you doing it here? And he said that apparently I owed him £200 because he did 2 shifts a year prior when we were together at my old job, and he never got the wages from it. Girls, I can't remember ever owning a business. If not, I wouldn't be working in a supermarket right now. I would be loaded and I'd be having a great time. My question for you, girls, is how do I get my money back? And if Rat Boy is listening, I would like my £300 right now. Much love, and I love listening to you guys. You're amazing.
Bitch,
Slay
better
queens.
have my money.
Babe.
Sorry, no, you do not give up.
Oh, I don't agree.
You think you give up?
I don't think it's giving up. I just think you could bang your head against the wall for 3 years with this boy, with Rat Boy, trying to get you 300 quid. And
I think it's her money.
sometimes in life, babe, sometimes in life when you go, like, you know, you go through a divorce, you lose a house. Money
£7 an hour you've saved to get 300 quid is a lot of money.
No, I know. I'm not for a second saying it's not a lot of money, but I think given the circumstances of him being an actual piece of shit, you're not going to get it unless you literally go to HSBC or Barclays or wherever he keeps his money and report him as a fraudster. That is my only... I've written him, report him to the bank.
Well,
That's literally
now you've mentioned it, might I say, I went to book an Airbnb yesterday whose card details were saved. Collins. I was quite tempted to put my Airbnb on there. So maybe in your browser history, he's once upon a time bought something for you, booked a trip. Just take the money, babe, it's yours. You've got his card deets. I don't know, spend it in ASOS. Do you know what I mean? If you've got it saved on your... Or like Amazon, sometimes they buy things on.
Good. Right, you've got to think outside the box.
You could send him a Monzo link. Then he just has to tap on it and pay.
You could send him a PayPal request.
Yes, you could.
You've got to start thinking outside the box.
I mean, the dad was pretty outside the box.
Or you could say,
bloody hell.
Imagine. People would have thought he would have been praying for a prostitute. I'm sorry to say you've been owing.
The thing is,
wait, what? Because he was like,
when you're going to pay my daughter. Yeah. For her good services.
As the lady of the night.
As the lady of the night. Or the day, whenever you want her.
Yeah, whenever you want her.
She comes at your beck and call.
Okay.
I think it's really awkward, isn't it? And this is like a broader thing. Like money, I get really cross when people know they owe you money and they don't pay it and they wait for you to need to ask them, because it's such a, especially as English people, we're really bad. Like, it's really uncomfortable to ask for money. Even like after a dinner, like you could literally, the amount of times I could have been like, oh, I just won't ask. But then think about how much money that is once it all adds up.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Well, actually,
with certain people, it comes out in the wash and it's fine.
Yes, yeah.
Let the coffees go,
100%,
whatever. Because they're your people and you're together all the time and you're back and forward all the time.
But for the acquaintances that you don't want to wait in the bathroom for.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like every time you go for dinner with them, there's that one friend that you're like, you haven't sent me that 40 quid again.
Yeah,
And it's like, that is a lot of money now. And I'm actually, I know it's petty, but I'm going to ask you for it out of principle now.
But the problem is, if you've asked and your dad's asked and he's still saying no, I just think...
For peace of mind to
let bygones be bygones. And we say this all the time. It's harder when you're a bit younger because, like, you know, when you are working the job that is like, and you save and like, it's like that thing that you bought and that you waited for and you save for. And then like, it's unfair.
Also, it does become like a principle thing. It's like, it is my money. And also, surely the guy you're taking paid for the ticket. I would just bypass him. If it's your friend's boyfriend, I'd just be like, did you pay him the money for the ticket? Because you need to ask for it back and you need to pay it directly to me.
Yeah.
Because he is making money off your breakup, and that is just a bit petty. I mean, listen, breakups are messy, and Al's right. I kept a lot of stuff that weren't really mine. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I just think, like, especially, you know, okay, that's a really clear division of a thing.
It's different, isn't it? When someone's bought you a present and you're a bit like, no, you can't have your AirPods back. Obviously, you bought them for me.
I always think that about these girls, then their big fat engagement rings. Do you think the men are asking back?
Because they're Birkins. What are they doing about that?
Oh no, the Birkins, definitely he hasn't got a claim on them. No way. No way.
Once you've handed it over, it is theirs.
It's mine.
Yeah.
And I'll be making up a cash in 100 grand off that Birkin.
I guess they do an Emma Ratajkowski or whatever and just turn it into a divorce ring.
An engagement ring is just... No, but I bet you some men ask for it back. I bet you.
Oh, I bet. Give it to the next.
Yeah.
Imagine. I'm sorry you didn't get to go to Reading. I've got this problem. Don't worry about it. There's a concert I really want to go to that my ex bought me tickets for. It's in October. I don't know whether we could go together.
Have you got the me and you?
Got them.
Or you and him?
Me and him. I wouldn't even need to look at him. I just want to go.
I think that is... Sorry.
What if it's standing?
Yeah,
then we wouldn't even see each other. I'd go alone.
You'd be on your own, yeah.
He doesn't want to go.
Has he still got the tickets?
Surely. He might have sold them. He's probably sold them.
Yeah. Babe, also, we might be able to get some free ones.
I know, I'm going to try so hard.
Honestly, we want to get Chris Stapleton tickets.
I want to go and see Chris Stapleton, and it was the best present ever. And then I really considered it when we were breaking up. I was like, should I wait? Can I do another year?
Or should I put it in the breakup clause? You have to give me the tickets. I'm going to break your heart, but you have to give me...
Babe, maybe you're right. Maybe what we're lacking in this world is paperwork.
A contract.
Yes.
Guy.
We have a contract.
We have a contract?
We have a very serious contract.
Okay, actually, babe, okay, listen, I don't think that cheating should be illegal because, listen, people are going to be people and people are going to cheat. What I do think should be illegal is entering into a parenting situation with someone, a sexual relationship with anyone.
A working relationship.
That you haven't signed a contract with.
I agree.
My mum bangs on about prenups. Honestly, that's why...
We want prenup. What's the facts around prenup? Like, are they just, like, invalid? I've heard that a lot of times.
They're not like legally binding.
Right.
So it's not like a contract where like if we didn't get paid by a company, we could sue them. It's not quite the same level of law.
Right.
But it is still like if you've both signed on the dotted line and you've agreed to these terms, it would be quite hard.
It would stand up in your divorce procedures.
100%. It would be quite hard for you to then turn around and say, well, I never agreed to that because you did. You signed it.
What date do you whack it out on? Do you reckon date 5, the contract? Or do you wait a bit? Do you have to wait?
It's a very interesting conversation because lots of people, I mean, they're really quite common now, but lots of people take real issue with it. With
Prenups.
signing a prenup. Yeah. because it's like, I can't believe that you would ever think that we would.
I know, and they get insulted.
But I actually think that you should have it for most. If you're in a long-term relationship and you're going to have a baby with someone, do you want to know something?
Yeah.
This is my mum's another one of her big things about dying on the hill of, if you're in a cohabiting relationship and you've got children together and you're not married, you have zero legal rights. If your husband leaves and takes the kids with all the money and all, you got nothing. You can't claim.
Especially girls, if you haven't been working because you're with the babies.
Nothing. You honestly are owed
nothing.
Not a penny.
And you can't let yourself get in that situation, girls.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. So
Never.
Even if you're not married, sign a contract.
Sign a contract.
Sign a shareholders agreement. We'll
Put it in ChatGPT. We could put you on our template.
Yeah, we'll put our template on Instagram, not to worry.
Just sign away, because that is just not right.
Yeah.
All these fuckers out there getting away with all of this stuff. This is why I think, I know what you're saying, and I actually do appreciate what you're saying, because I also do think like karma comes back around and that money will come to you in other ways.
Money comes, money goes.
But
and
also it is the principle of it. It's like, it is your money and you're not going to Reading and you do deserve that money back. And also you tried to get them on Ticketmaster. Could have both had your money back. If he wasn't so lazy. Listen, he was heartbroken, babe.
I think you just need to hate him for a while. Do some voodoo shit on his doll or something. You know, really hate him and, you know, hope that the money spider, like, you know.
I think if your dad going to his work didn't work, you're probably like pretty
fucked.
I honestly would though, Chet. I mean, that is stealing. I can't believe I've just recommended that, but I would just look to see if his details are saved on your laptop. Couldn't believe it.
I don't think that's stealing. I do that with her all the time.
Got Colin's Amex. I just think...
I sometimes put my Zara stuff on our shared Amex.
Oh, that's different because you cohabit with him and you do suck his dick from time to time.
Oh, once
I do
a year.
none of that. None of that. If you do that, you're fine. Because payment is payment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We did this the other day. Sorry, we went for lunch. We didn't even go for lunch. We've just got an obsession with creating our own Joe and the Juice panini. And so we were buying all the ingredients and Al has about 55 cards on her phone. She's just flicking through them and she's like, Raw can get this one. We're like, yeah.
He didn't even ask.
No, he didn't blink an eyelid.
He wouldn't even know.
Really good.
Yeah, he just direct debit. Ding.
Ting ting.
Should we do a roundup?
Yeah, debrief.
Annie number one. Thanks, sorry for watching Drive Through. Forget that people do that. So fun.
Oh my God, so fun.
That's crazy.
Oh
my God. So good. You find your hubbies cheating via email.
No, it's not her story.
No, I know, but I'm being the auntie.
Fine,
sorry, I was in first person of the auntie.
Great.
I was being method. Cheating, but
By
you've got
email.
kids.
Would you stay? Sorry, I didn't ask you. Would you stay in her situation? You don't think you would? Really? I actually reckon I'd give it a go.
I find forgiveness so difficult.
You're talking to the right person, babe.
I just think like that for me, it's just a bit like, gross. Like, I don't do that to you. So come up to the standard or don't.
The one with the bitchy mother-in-law.
Oh, yeah.
Babe, just listen. Honestly, if I were you, as a gobby shite 19-year-old, I would have given her a piece of my mind, if I'm honest with you. I would have just said, if she was like, oh, the Airbnb's not very nice, I'd be like, well, what's wrong with it? What's the problem with it?
Or you'd just be like, don't worry, Carol, next time you can book it and pay for it. That'd be really nice, Carol.
So passag, really
Shut up, you silly bitch. Number 3, love that you called him Rat Boy.
Yeah, because I was thinking
about Rodin Boys.
Yes, very on brand, well done.
But they're having a bit of a comeback, so it's not actually an insult anymore, Rat, just want to say. Rat Boy is kind of a compliment.
My honest opinion on the money is you kind of got to let it go, babe. Money comes, money goes. And also, the more energy and like emotional time that you give to chasing that money, he's still in your life. And ideally, you want to expel him from your life. And if that means sacrificing your hard-earned £300, maybe that's what you got to do. Sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do, and you getting your money back, not getting your money back might be one of those things.
Maybe you could set a yearly alarm to go off on the weekend of Reading every year, and that weekend you can just try. You get one text a year.
Okay, my other thing
to send the Monzo link.
The last thing is ask him to set up a direct debit for £2 a month.
Yeah, and say it's just a coffee, babe.
For like 150 months.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for listening.
Thanks so much for listening. That was so fun and so good, and sorry we had so much to say. Can't stop us.
Please leave us a message. The link is in the episode notes and in our bio, and we will see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Love you. Bye.
Bye.